sitting next to me in the same costume going, I haven't seen this thing in 30 years. There's Apollo, watching Apollo as he's about to play Apollo again. I got to pick him up and his wife at midnight at the airport, and we went to a lovely meal at Denny's.
Wow.
And then he and she, they were on set the next morning, and she died. That was the one scene on the bridge where she died, and then there was nothing more for her to do. It was all his thing, and then watching him act, you know, he's done more acting.
Oh yeah.
And we've changed
black and
socks.
white,
Just amazing to watch this guy in action, and it was the first of the amazing in this place, because we've had Lou Ferrigno, we've had John Delancey, we've had Ann Lockhart, we've had Gigi Edgley from Farscape, we've had the security chief from Discovery who's died twice.
And you got the brother of Doohan on the show.
The son, Chris Doohan.
So that was his son.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris
When I
Doohan.
first saw that, I was kind of flipping through the YouTube, and I saw one of these things here. So I'll flip it on.
Actually, Chris is going to be here next month.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Really? I said, that looks just like
The first vignette when he said his first lines, and I've got the mic on Vic, and Vic turns to Chris and says, Scotty, are we ready? And he says something like, oh, Captain, do you have to ask? Chills. Chills. Because Scotty's here. Not, but here. And again, one of the nicest guys in the world. And then look, in the first J.J. Abrams Trek, he's there briefly in the transporter room.
Yep.
Oh, he is?
In the second film, he actually gets a line or two.
Yep.
And they actually gave him a chair with his name on it when he did those productions. So just,
Nice touch.
you know, Lou Ferrigno, 4 hours to put him into the green paint. Gigi Edgley, who when she got herself screwed up emotional for her part, was standing behind these doors and screaming and cursing at herself. And I'm going, what the hell's going on? I'm hearing this in my headphones. And then she comes out crying because the creature burst into her cabin. And that's how she got herself. Just amazing. Just amazing. Just, you know, and we're hanging out here in Kingsland, Georgia in a warehouse. You know?
I've always wanted to be on the set. Because I always thought, they were all well done. I don't think I love I'm in computer programming, so looking at the way that everything's laid out and everything else, it's logical. I mean, the whole thing is logical. The only thing I didn't like in the original pilot with who was it? Was it Jeffrey
Hunter.
Hunter. And they first found the signal was coming out warp speed or whatever it was, and they're going to crash, and it winds up being a radio signal. And they print out some paper. Okay, and I go, okay.
It's 1965.
I know, I'm thinking to myself, okay, print out a sheet of paper. But I like the fact that they dismissed that. Then no more paper after that. They had the little digital pads.
Yes.
Which were the forerunners of iPads.
Yep.
When you walk, there's a part of the set as you're walking into sickbay, look to the right, you will see our duplicate of the original Pike era nav console.
Oh, okay.
Because we did actually shoot a Pike era episode of what's called Starship Exeter Trek here. And unfortunately, something's happened to the footage. It's unavailable, so it may never be seen. But that was actually built, and take a close look at it. It's as damn good a replica of the original.
Of the Pike.
Of the
That was
Pike
all
era.
silverish. There was really no color.
It's a sort of white.
Yeah.
And it was also the transporter console. They just stuck it up on something.
Oh yeah.
And Jeffries, he built all that stuff.
Matt Jeffries, yes.
Yeah,
And Matt
I love
Jeffries'
that.
grandniece was here
Very
for Starship Farragut and did not know until that year all the things that her great uncle had done, and then was pretty touched to be walking through here and going, wow, this is what he did.
I saw the little, there was a little documentary on one of the episodes, Spock's Brain. Remember that one?
Yep.
Okay,
Forget.
so he gets called, right, so this the story goes, and part of the set is just a little wall to the right where the brain is, that's undone. So he goes out there, he paints on the wall, he gets like coffee cup lids, and does some things with little buttons on it. Just real quick, sprays it up there.
You will hear some interesting
And
things.
he just made up stuff. And when I look at, after I saw that, I went and looked at the episode because I have them. And I said, yeah, sure enough, you know. I said, that's pretty cool the way
You'll
he
hear
did that.
you'll hear and see some interesting things on this set that are duplicates of what they did then. And they went dumpster diving back then. We've had to find somebody to recreate the stuff, but there's something just inside that door. Take a look and tell me when you get in there.
I think
in
I
the
know
corridor.
what it is.
When you see it, just think of your aunt's living room in 1973.
Don't give too many secrets away, Dave.
Hey, I've already read probably all of them.
Just wait.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let's go ahead and, if we can get started now. I think the last couple people are getting checked in. I'd like to welcome you to the Neutral Zone Studios. My name's Royal Weaver, and I'm one of the major builders of the sets. I'm the longest. I got the claim to be the longest volunteer. I've been here almost 13 years. We have Dan Scanlon over here. He's another one of our volunteers.
10, 11 years, something like that?
Yeah, he's been around for a long time too. So I'd like to welcome you to the studio. Just to kind of give you a little of the history of our studio. Everything you're going to see here today was either built or rebuilt since February of 2012. The studio originally started off at a location in St. Mary's, about 15 miles from here. We started in 2009. We built on it for 2.5 years, filmed for 5 days, had to tear it all apart and move because we thought the building was being sold on us. Found out really the landlord was just found somebody that actually would pay rent, and we couldn't complain because he gave us free rent for 2.5 years. So then we packed everything up and moved it here, and then we reassembled and actually were able to build bigger and better. The previous facility was about 3,000 square feet. This is almost 10,000 square feet. So that just gave us a lot more room and allowed us to build the whole ship. Originally we'd build a bridge, a smaller transporter room, a little bit of corridor. We had the shuttlecraft, captain's quarters, and Romulan bridge. So now we've got it set up just like what the original series was. It's not exact. There's a few things that are out of the way different. The first set that you're going to go into is engineering, and that of course is supposed to be at the other end of the corridor. But the way this building is configured and the way we set up the sets, it wouldn't fit down at the other end. Now, I would like to point out the walls. As you may see that there's a lot of signatures on the walls. Started off that my builders were really proud of the work that they were doing, so they like to sign all the stuff. Well, when we started productions, I said, hey, for historical purposes, let's get each production to sign a wall. That way we know historically that they were here and who was here, and we've got some really cool signatures. Well, they don't really know it, but that's really part of my retirement plan. Because if I need money, I will cut that out and I will sell it on eBay because I can build a new wall. We just got our newest signature on my door today, so that's our newest signature today. And you'll be able to see Robin as we get to the end of the tour. So along the way, if you have questions, please ask them. I will say one thing, I'm not a Trekkie, I'm a builder, I'm a movie maker, but I have learned a lot of things about Trek throughout the years. I always look for the technical aspects of it versus necessarily the dialogue or what the actors are doing, because I want to try to make the experience best for the fans for when they go to see it. So the first set we're going to go into is into engineering, and like I say, it's not where it's supposed to be, but we will show you later on where it's supposed to go. So please go on into engineering.